Welcome back to Captain Crypto's Compass, and we are going to talk about Ethereum, Solana, and BNB. I'm going to help you identify key levels on the charts that you need to keep an eye on and what we can expect of these altcoins during this exciting time where Bitcoin is pushing higher, challenging that all-time high. Alright, so let's get straight to Ethereum. Now, I've opened up the weekly chart of Ethereum, and there are a couple of key resistance and support levels that I want us to have a look at. Now, the first resistance levels that I've identified here is the 21 SMA and the 50 SMA. Now, this is the yellow and the green lines on the chart. We can see that Ethereum has broken down these moving averages and is currently trading below these averages and treating it as resistance. We can see that it got rejected at the 50 SMA here in the 19th of August, came back down to that key support level, which is the 0.5 Fibonacci, and retraced back and got rejected yet again at our key resistance levels. Now, if you want to follow along, if you want to also pull this on your chart, you can just go to the trading view, go to the indicators tab, and the one that I'm using here is called the simple moving averages by Stocks in Box. Now, if you open up the simple moving averages, it gives you multiple moving averages that you can put on and off. I think all of them are on by default, but you can just switch all of them off. Just type in the first one here and the second one, just highlight those two for yourself, and I've changed the first line to yellow and the second line to green, and I just made the thickness a little bit thicker so it's easier to see. Now, the inputs for these two, you can see SMA line 1 is 21 on close and line 2 is the 50 at close, and this will give us the 21 and 50 SMA. Now, these two moving averages work very well to gauge the market concisely. You know, if we are trading above these moving averages, it's generally considered bullish, and if we are trading below these moving averages, it is generally considered bearish. Now, another key resistance level that I've highlighted here is the anchored volume weighted price. Now, in order to pull this, you can see that I've pulled the anchored volume weighted price here, the VWAP, from the start of the bull run in October 2023. Now, if you want to follow along, again, just go to TradingView, and the left-hand side, you open up the forecasting tools, and the one we're looking at specifically is called the anchored VWAP. You can just click on that and click at the start of this up move here, and that will plot this line for you. You can change the settings here. I've made mine white, and I've made it a little bit thicker just so it's easier to see. So if you want to follow along, that's my settings for the anchored VWAP. Now, treating these zones as resistance, now we can see that we had two attempts to reclaim these resistance areas at the 0.618 and these moving averages at roughly between about $2,700 and $2,900. And we can see that Ethereum has rejected these resistance zones twice now, failing to hold above that 0.618 Fibonacci, and has been rejected and came back down now. Now, one positive thing that I can see in Ethereum's favor is that we are forming this slight uptrend, creating higher lows. However, we can see that we are currently placing a lot of pressure on this small uptrend on Ethereum. Now, my key support zones on Ethereum then will be the 0.5 Fibonacci. We can see that it has respected this key market structure now for quite some time, and the 0.5 is trading at roughly $2,260. Now, I'm looking at this move down. We can expect Ethereum to start finding support between the 2,400 odd and roughly $2,260 during this downtrend. Hey, hope you're enjoying the content so far. Please remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Now, if we break the 0.5, if we come back down and we do not hold the 0.5 as support, the next logical level of support will be the 382 Fibonacci level. Now, this is currently trading at roughly $1,800. We can see there $1,880, give or take. Looking left on the chart, we can see this coincides with key market structure pivots to the left of the chart. However, we can see that that Ethereum has been treating the 0.5 as that key support. So I'm expecting support to re-enter Ethereum in these areas, regain momentum, and start trying to break past these resistance levels. If not, we do have the possibility of a retracement all the way back down to $1,880 on the 382 Fibonacci. So keep these levels marked on your chart. See how Ethereum acts to the anchored VWAP and the 21 and 50 SMA. We need to break above that and hold key support above the 618 in order to facilitate that momentum higher and the continuation of a possible retest of the 786 at roughly $3,500. Now looking at our indicators here, we can see that the Stochastic RSI is still trading in relatively bullish territory, with the blue line trading above the orange line, giving us that positive signal that the bulls are still in control. And if we look at the TDI, now this is a new tool that I introduced to us here, the Traders Dynamic Index. Now if you want to open up the Traders Dynamic Index for yourself, you can just go to your indicators tab and just type in TDI, and the one that I'm using is the Traders Dynamic Index from Just Uncle. Now I've changed a couple of settings with the Traders Dynamic Index to make it more visually appealing to me, and I have changed the RSI color to green because my RSIs are usually green, and I've changed the TSL line, or the trading signal line, to red. Now, what we do with the TDI is we are looking for that positive and bearish momentum. We know if the green line crosses above the TSL line, that's usually a bullish sign that bullish momentum is re-entering the market. We can expect a rally in the price. And if the green line is crossing below the red TSL line, we can expect that bearish momentum to start re-entering the market. Now we can see that the green line has crossed below the red TSL line, so this will start putting a lot of pressure on our support zones on the Fibonacci, the 0.5 being one of our key support zones at roughly $2,250, give or take. So I'm expecting a consolidation in Ethereum here. Hopefully we can regain some momentum, find support on the 0.5, and then push higher to try and reclaim the 21 and 50 SMA. Now going on to Solana, we can see something similar happen here. However, we can clearly see, just looking at the chart, that Solana is stronger than Ethereum. We can see that it's trading above the yellow SMA and the green 50 SMA and the anchored VWAP, holding that anchored VWAP as support. Now, Solana has been trading and finding support on the 786 Fibonacci level at roughly about $125. And we can see that every single time that Solana comes back down, it finds support on the 786 at that $125. Hey, hope you're enjoying the content so far. Please remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Now, a very positive thing in developments here is that we have finally managed to reclaim the 21 SMA and the anchored VWAP, and I'm looking for Solana to hold support above these areas to push us higher and facilitate that move to push into our resistance zones. Now, the first resistance zone that I have identified here is the previous pivot tops at roughly about $185, and then the previous all-time high at roughly about $206. So if Solana can hold support on these areas, build market structure, and which is looking positive at the moment with that large wick to the downside, showing us that buyers are stepping into the market, Solana will be primed to retest these higher levels at the $185 and $206. If we break support on the 21 SMA, it's currently sitting at about $150. The next logical levels of support would be the 50 SMA at roughly about $139, and then ultimately the 786 Fibonacci trading at that $125. So keep an eye on these levels for key support to re-enter the market, with Solana to consolidate and push us higher into that all-time high territory. Now, BNB is also showing a lot of strength. We can see that we have also finally managed to reclaim the 21 SMA, and we are building market structure on top of that 21 SMA line. We can see that bullish candle coming in with the large wick to the downside. It looks like BNB is trying to hold support on the 21 SMA. However, unlike Solana, BNB is showing a little bit more weakness, trading below the anchored VWAP at roughly about $570. So we are looking for BNB to find support. Hopefully it can find support above the 21 SMA, hold this area as support, and push above the anchored VWAP and hold support above that. Then it can be in a position to reclaim and try and test these higher levels at roughly $651. If we do break the 21 SMA here, our next logical level of support would be the 786 at roughly $521. And if we break that, the next logical level of support will be roughly $496 on the 50 SMA. Looking at our momentum, we can see that our momentum is slowing down with the blue line and Stochastic RSI trading below the orange line, showing us that bearish momentum has re-entered into Solana. That consolidation move that we're expecting here, forming that support on BNB, rather forming that support on the 786. I'm expecting BNB to come back down, retest the 786, build market structure, create that higher low that we're waiting for, and then push higher into that all-time high. The Traders Dynamic Index is also showing us that the momentum is dying down. The green line has crossed below the red TSL line, showing us that we can expect a little bit of a slowdown in the price for BNB. So keep an eye on this. If we are building market structure, we want to see that green line cross back above the red TSL line to show us that we can finally manage to push into that all-time high territory. So that is it for the charts. I hope you found value in this. We're looking at Ethereum, Solana, and BNB. I've identified key levels of support and key levels of resistance. And depending on what Bitcoin does with this bull flag breakout, that Bitcoin will probably lead the way. So if Bitcoin fails to break its all-time high, fails to hold above the blood zone. If you want to have a look at my previous video where I go in detail on what key areas of Bitcoin that we're looking at, you can just go to the link in the top corner here and you can see what I was thinking about, what I'm looking at for Bitcoin specifically. But if we do manage to hold support with Bitcoin, push into that all-time highs, we can expect all of these major altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, and BNB, to follow suit and push higher into those all-time high territories. The only outlier would be Ethereum, which is currently trading well below its previous all-time high, showing a lot more weakness. So we can be cautiously optimistic and wait for Bitcoin to lead the way, and we can expect these altcoins to follow suit and push higher. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and hit the bell notifications. Also, remember to click the link in the description below to join my mailing list, where I'll be sending you free emails and trading videos, and also market report updates weekly to help you stay ahead of the herd. As always, this community would not be the same without you, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Peace and love. See you next time.